Alright guys, well now we're gonna have a little review of the second partial. As you remember, some of the topics we worked with were diphthongs, intonation, the tonic syllable, as well as tone units and content and function words in intonation. Alright, well we'll go ahead and get started. The first thing we looked at were diphthongs. Now, if we wish to define them, they are basically two sounds or two tones or gliding vowels. Basically, these are two vowel sounds that are put together, and when they are combined, you have one new sound, which is a combination of both. Now, it is important that you remember that just because you have two vowels together, that they are not necessarily a diphthong. Some examples will be the diphthong of oi, ow, and I. Now, another aspect that we work with was intonation. Intonation is basically about how we say things rather than what we say. Without intonation, it is practically impossible to understand expressions and thoughts that go with words. For example, if you say, I like you, it's very different from saying, I like you, or, ha ha ha, I like you. So, depending on the intonation, the meaning will change. Basically, it's adding emotions to what you're saying. Now, the next thing we're going to be working with is the tonic syllable, which is basically the most important syllable. This is where you make emphasis. For example, you say, I love Mr. Hector's class. You mean that you love a lot of things about Mr. Hector, especially his class. You say, I love Mr. Hector's class. That means that you love a lot of things about Mr. Hector, and you do love more than other emotions. If I say, I love Mr. Hector's class, you're emphasizing that a lot of people love his class, but especially you. And if you say, I love Mr. Hector's class, that means you love a lot of classes, but especially Mr. Hector's class. So, diphthongs, intonation, and the tonic syllable. Now, when we have tone units, these are the numerous phrases that make up intonation. Basically, within sentences, any phrase that you have can be considered a tone unit. Now, this isn't a big part of the partial, so we're not going to focus all that much on it. Just remember, phrases that make up a sentence. Now, finishing up here, we have content and function words. Content words are usually nouns, verbs, or adjectives in a sentence. These are considered content words because they give us important information required for understanding. Just remember, if you take out the content words, you won't understand anymore. In contrast, we have function words. Function words help us connect. That is a keyword. Connect important information. Function words are important for understanding, but they add little in meaning. Some examples of function words could be auxiliary verbs, prepositions, articles, conjunctions, and pronouns. So remember, function, you take them out, you still understand. Content, you take them out, you don't understand anymore. Now, this is just a quick rundown of function, content, tone units, and all the different aspects we work with in this partial in our phonetics and phonology class. I hope this helps you remember. See you in the exam.